there was a game. I was literally driving home from dinner tonight, and I was like, man, I haven't played this game in a long time. And it just hit me, and then I was like, there's this other game that I wanted to play. And I thought, well, there's two games in a row that I just thought of. And I was like, you know what? We're going to turn it into a night. That's a great thing about not having a plan mostly ever. I'll have to turn down my speakers and turn up. Oh, and I remember this. I don't hear this through. I don't hear it through the monitor. Turn it to just a very, very. There we go. Hopefully that's not feedback. November is a great month. Happy birthday to all the birthday. I think, what's 9 months minus from November? Is that February? February must be, well, I think everybody must be snuggling in the cold, cold bed around February for all these November babies.
Shred is dominating the race.
What's up, Snow Dog? The amigo boing ball in his house. Yes, this has Rock and Roll Racing has some great racing tunes. This is there was a Aaron probably remembers. There's a Nintendo NES racing game. It's kind of similar to this, but I always like the Super Nintendo one. I like the graphics, and I really really like the music. So if you like your hard rock, your heavy metal, presented to you through Super Nintendo, the dulcet sounds of the Super Nintendo sound chip, then this is the game for you. This is a demo.
Let the carnage begin! Range fades into last.
This is the demo showing the 2-player version here, but I don't have any friends. Yeah, tonight, this, we're not doing Amiga here tonight. We are doing Super Nintendo. Let's see, one player and baby tones here. I wish I could get, further in, Eye of the Beholder. I can't get anywhere in it. I'm really having trouble because I really want to stream Eye of the Beholder, but, yeah, this is all, actually this is all on Mister. I don't always use the Mister, but I'm trying to get some use out of it right now. Let's see. So you can pick, this is, dopey racing game. This car is $70,000, so you can't buy that for a long time. This is the Marauder, which has the engine in the front, and then this is the car I like, which is basically a Volkswagen little buggy guy here. Can I pick a color? Yeah, yellow buggy. The problem is that it's sometimes in the game it's hard to figure out who you are. So, like in the first level, I think all the other cars are red, so having a yellow car helps you out a little bit. Rock and Roll Racing is a normal racing game. You can buy upgrades. You could skip a level if you wanted to for some reason. You can buy a new car, but of course now I'm broke. You can see I have $2,000 left after buying the car, and simple upgrades like this engine upgrade right here is $24,000. So yeah, we're gonna be playing Ivan Stewart after this. That was the other game I was talking about on the way home. So let's get into some rock and roll. Let's see how many people can name these songs.
The stage is set. The green flag drops.
This first level is a big oval. You can slide easily around corners. Sometimes I just untap the gas just a little bit, but it's pretty easy unless you get turned around or your car blows up. It's pretty easy to beat this, to come in first place on this first level.
Viper fades into last.
For some reason, some directions make it look like you're going faster than other directions.
Ivan powers up. Viper fades into last.
Yeah, everybody should recognize this too.
Dominating the race.
Here's a trivia question. What other video game uses the Peter gun? Oh, that wasn't the last lap. I let off the gas. You see
Fades
that?
into last.
It's really not much of a trivia question. Yeah, if you can... What you got to do is watch the corner, and you'll see the beginning of the turn come up, and then you can kind of slide through the turn a few
Shred
times.
is about to blow. Ivan scores a first.
Yeah, this game doesn't really do that, the cheat catch-up thing. In fact, there's a lot of the laps that do like figure eights, and you can always kind of see out of the corner where the characters, where the other people are. I don't know what I'm supposed to be. I'm kind of a cross between an owl and a chihuahua, maybe. I'm like Chuchilla the Wookiee monster. I have $16,000, which I could actually buy. I think I could buy struts maybe or something. Nope. 20,000 for springs. 6,000 for locust jump, which is not very useful. But yeah, everything's really super expensive. These are good. This is a laser gun, but as you can see, it says pulse round ammunition. I don't know how many shots you get out of that, but anyway, yeah, it takes a little bit to get enough money to buy anything here. All right, here comes another song.
Let the carnage begin. Ivan jams into first.
This song is called Born to Smash Your Car.
Rip jams into first. Shred fades into last.
Wish I could do that speed movie voice. Be like,
Viper
see, now I'm
lost
in
out there.
smoking, which is never good. That guy just pushed me all the way into a wall.
Ivan is about to blow. Ivan is dominating the race.
I love how it gives like the best news and the worst news. It's like, you're in first place. Your car's about to blow up. You're doing great. You're doing terrible. Born to be in a yellow buggy, slug bug yellow.
Ivan was lost out there.
You're in last place, Ivan.
Viper is about to blow. Rip is dominating the
Come on,
race.
here it comes. Oh no, that was the last lap. Oh no.
Rip scores a first place knockout. Shred finishes second. Viper.
You know what, El Curtis, I have the exact same thing. I have a folder of songs I like to play guitar to. Of MP3s. Uh-oh.
The stage is set. The green flag drops.
This track is like a figure eight.
Ivan jams into first. Ivan powers up. Ivan is dominating the race. Viper fades into last.
Ivan, if that is your real car name. Chinchilla. Oh boy. That part of the track had such a weird isometric angle. that you always want to like not jump straight, and then I always end up hitting those edges there.
Viper fades into last.
Key change. Take it out, Mr. Thoroughhead. Thoroughhead. See, like right there. Oh boy, here they come.
Rip fades into
Oh,
last.
don't push me over.
Dread jams into first. Rip headed the wrong way. Viper
First
fades
place,
into
come
last.
on, Buggy. Speed Buggy. Here he comes. Here comes Speed Buggy.
Ivan
He's
is
a
dominating the
buggy
race.
on wheels.
Viper was lost out there. Ivan scores a first place knockout.
Yeah, this game is
Rip
ramp up pretty quick. Stompers! Stompers! 4x4, you can try to stop them. I wrote a blog post one time somewhere about a stomper I owned. I got a stomper when I was a kid. Well, all my friends had stompers, and I didn't have one. And I begged my mom. I was like, please, 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 can I have a stomper? And so we had... this is old. This is an old story. We had TGNY. I don't know how many of you guys had TGNY or remember TGNY. We always used to say, everyone told me that it stood for Toys, Games, and Yo-Yos. That's what TGNY stood for. But anyway, we had a outlet TGNY, which was like all the stuff that people had returned that was broken or that they didn't want. They took to this other place, and we had that. And I, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it, what it was called, but it was basically, that's what it was a TGNY outlet. And so I begged my mom for a stomper, and I got to tell you this, my neighbors built a dirt track in their backyard where they used like those little hand spade shovels and dug out this track that was just kind of like U-shaped, and it was all dirt, and they would put their stompers in there and turn them on, and the stompers, if you don't remember stompers, stompers were little tiny motorized trucks, basically, that were four-wheel drive, and then they came with two sets of wheels. They came with little rubber wheels that looked like gears, and then they had these soft foam wheels for more like indoor stuff. But they didn't steer. You just turn them on and turn them off. And I don't remember if you put one AA in them or two AA's, but you just stuck a battery up in the bottom of it. And then, they were all pretty much the same, but they had different bodies snapped onto them. I remember there was like a van. There was one, and I had one that was I think it was a brown pickup was the one I had. It might have even been I don't think it was an El Camino. I think it was an actual brown pickup. But anyway, so my mom took me to the outlet store because stompers were like $5 or something, and she was like, "You're not gonna want this, we're gonna get you the discount stomper." Oh, you still got a stomper? That's rad. I don't know if you could see, just if you could see, and the toy wall is only partially. Right now, you're looking at the book wall, the toy wall over there, but there is a definite lack of stompers over there. There are no stompers over there on the toy wall. I'll have to change that. So anyway, my mom takes me to the outlet store, and I go to the. I get the stomper, and I come home, and the stomper is only front wheel drive. It's not. It's not a 4x4. It's only a 2x2. The gears for the rear axle have been stripped off, and that's why somebody returned it. It's broken. So, it was like a. This is not a great comparison, but I had a friend who had a weenie dog, and it broke its back jumping off something, and so it just like rode around in a chariot thing. He walked till he healed. He walked on his front legs, and he just dragged the back half. That was kind of how my stomper was. The front wheels just rolled, and it kind of just pulled the back behind it. So my stomper couldn't keep up with everybody else's stompers, but what are you gonna do? So that was the only stomper I've ever owned, and there's so many things that like I had a handheld, I had a Simon, you know, and then years later I was like, man, I wish I still had that Simon. I went on eBay and I bought another Simon. There's like $10, you know. Now I think they're more now, but the few things that I got rid of as a kid, you know, I've replaced. And then one day I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go look at another Stomper. They're expensive. I mean, they're not, you know, unobtainium, but they're more than I want to pay for a little truck to put over on that wall over there. So, anyway, that's my life with Stomper. Oh, we got almost $30,000. Let's go buy us an upgrade. I'm gonna buy some rear wheels from a Stomper here. My 2-wheel drive Stomper truck. I mean, this seems like fun because this looks like a rocket launcher thing. A plasma rifle. Really, if I were driving, I'd really want these shocks, but I'm just going to get the plasma rifle because that's who we are. That's what we deserve. All right, let's get on this. All right, name that tune.
Let the carnage begin!
Pretty easy now.
Shred jams into first. Ivan is about to blow. Holy Toledo!
Oh, I'm in last place. What am I going to do when I catch up? I got an idea. Oh, that quarter kicked past.
Ivan powers up. Ivan was lost out there. Shred jams into first.
Oh, wrong button. The brakes. I don't seem to have any buttons. Shooting large missiles. I feel like I might have got taken some false advertising. I clearly seem to remember what looked like missiles I would be shooting.
Ivan jams into first.
James. It was so cool in the early days of video games when a game would talk to you, you know? And they only said a few things, you know what I mean? Like it just says the same stuff over and over, but although it's a pretty short version of Paranoid as well, so I hope I didn't give that away. I haven't checked the chat yet. I gotta get this piece of crap buggy, smoking ass buggy. I had a Volkswagen Dune buggy that smoked just like this one. That's what it looked like. How much are is that what they are not working? $30. That's crazy. I'm putting that on my Christmas list. This Christmas list this year, I'm only putting like retro toys that I want because like my parents, they go, we just don't know what you want. You know what I want? A 24-inch Shogun Warrior. How about that? That's what I want. You're just so hard to buy for. You know what? Just talking to the retros today. You know what? I don't have a Y-Wing fighter from 1983. I never got a Y-Wing Return of the Jedi fighter. That's on the Christmas list. Let's get Santa and them elves back there, fire up the old Kinner factory. Let's get the plastic going. I got some requests. I'm missing the Jabba's Palace playset.
The stage is set. The green flag drops. Ivan
about to blow. It's the first quarter.
Ivan fades into last. Shred is dominating the race. Ivan jams into first.
This is the hardest song to name, I think.
Shred fades into last.
It's not as popular as all the other ones. This is the first track, and I thought it was the third track. So I've been turning the wrong way into every corner. Well, it looks like... Come here, my little elves. I can't read this on Santa's list. Looks like I have a lot of requests for Pokemon for the Nintendo Switch. And one request for a Stomper 4x4. Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah, Santa, remember about 40 years ago there were these little trucks?
No, not really.
Yeah, they used one AA battery.
Oh, yeah. Do we still have any of those?
No, they're on eBay. They're too expensive. I had to sell them to pay for reindeer food.
Viper is about to blow.
Ivan, let's get this piece of shit around the corner. Oh, quit hitting the wall, Ivan. I haven't stopped at the old pub there halfway through the race and got a little tipsy,
Ivan
if you know
is
what I mean.
dominating
Come
the
on,
race.
Ivan.
Rip fades into last. Ivan scores a first place knockout. Viper finishes
Old
second.
Curtis Boyle nails it. I don't see if you were the first, but yeah, it's deep purple. Is there an option to turn off the amphetamine announcements? Is that mine? There's no option to turn off the stream host. Yeah, this is a lot like driving in LA. I would say, except for I don't think a Volkswagen Buggy can keep up with traffic in LA. I had a sport bike for a while. I had a Yamaha R1. And it's the only motorcycle I ever sold because I was afraid of it. I had it for, I don't know, 4 years, maybe 5. No, I don't know, maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. I've owned a lot of motorcycles in my life. It was the only motorcycle that at any given time in any gear, if you just open up the throttle and lean back, you can pull up the front wheel. I mean, it was just unbelievably unsafe. And anyway, the reason I mentioned it is because I had a friend who lived in LA or lives in LA, a coworker. And he said that he does white lining all the time, which is where you ride on the white line in between lanes. And he said, yeah, that's the only way you can get anywhere in LA is he has a sport bike and he rides in between cars. And I thought, yeah, no thanks. No, I'm going to pass on that. I've graduated to my cruiser phase of life. I don't have to go fast on two wheels anymore. I enjoy it. I just enjoy
Let the
riding.
carnage
I don't know
begin.
if I mentioned on the stream, but I sold my motorcycle. I'm sure I did mention that because I sold it
Ivan fades
to
into
pay
last.
for the van, more or less. Actually, I didn't sell it to pay for the van. I sold it to pay for the stupid. Oh, jumped off the track. Now I'm stuck on this hill. It doesn't seem like I deserve the Spy Hunter. Although that does seem very reminiscent of my Volkswagen not being able to have enough power to go up a little, a 2-foot hill. I met after I bought a Volkswagen Doom buggy, one of the ones with the plastic. I mean, it looked just like Speed Buggy. It was blue with a roll bar. It didn't have doors. I didn't own a top for it. It was a super responsible purchase as your daily driver car when I was a kid. And I met this guy through a BBS, and his name was the Bugman. He worked on Volkswagens. And I said, there's this weird smell that I get all the time. And he goes, yeah, that's your clutch. And I go, oh, Jesus, something wrong with it? He goes, no, your clutch is just burning up. And I was like, isn't that bad? He's like, it's bad, but there's just no fix to it. It's just that's what you're smelling. Great.
Last lap.
That car, if I haven't mentioned, had 2 switches on the dash and 2 gauges. It had a speedometer and a fuel gauge. And the 2 switches were, oh, come on.
Tread jams into first.
Don't be last. There we go.
Viper fades into
It had lights on and off switch, and it had windshield wipers
Tread
on and off
scores
switch.
a first place knockout. Ivan finishes
and,
second. Rip takes a weak third. Viper is in another time zone.
I got it right before the winter, and I would park it outside, and it would fill up with snow. And I had a plastic Tupperware bowl, and before I went to work, I'd have to go out there and I'd scoop all the snow out of the driver's seat and out of the floorboard so I could get to the pedals, and then drove it to work. And anyway, one night, me and Steel Rat were just out cruising, out in the dune buggy, just having a good old time. And we pulled up to an intersection, and there was a girl there that was trying to get a ride somewhere. And we were like, and again, this car had no windows, it had no doors, no top. It was just this plastic tub, you know, with a steering wheel in it. And we pulled up, and we were like, "Hey, baby, you need a ride?" And she was like, "I don't think so." And I go, "Listen," I go, "we're two idiots driving around in the cold in a dune buggy. Do we look like people that would kill you?" Something to that effect. And she goes, "Not really." And I go, "Well, then hop in." So she climbed in, and we were on our way to a party at another friend's house, like across town. And I said, "You want to go to a party with us?" And she goes, "Okay." So we went to this party, and they were like, "Oh, who's that?" I was like, "I don't know." She was standing on the side of the road, and we picked her up in my dune buggy. That's a 100% true story. Good times, good times. No, I'm gonna say in the most politeness of verbiage, not wife material. The strange lady we picked up on I mean, she would have been good if you were like, "Where's the best place to get some heroin?" That she probably knew. Not that I know for a fact, I'm just saying. But if you were like, "Hey, how are you on making breakfast and going out and having picnics?" Probably not your gal. But that would be one hell of a story. If you were like, and she wasn't that scary. If she was that scary, we would have rolled up the pretend windows. I mean, there was a time where we would pull up next to people, and they would say something to us, and we would go like we're rolling up the window, but there were no windows in the car. Bocus, is it Bocus? Bocus Retro Stuff. Welcome. We're playing some Super Nintendo. We're telling wacky car stories about the old dune buggy I used to own. In between games, I'll see if I can could probably bring up a picture of the old dune buggy. If you can just get out ahead. Ah, God damn.
Ivan is
I don't know
dominating
why my car feels like it's driving on, like they've equipped this with slicks on an ice road. The one problem that you will see with this game is that there's, I believe, only 4 songs. And so they're all very good songs. But I figured they just were like, 4 songs. I didn't really mention that in the road there are little first aid packages you can pick up. There's money, just like Ivan Stewart. Little pools, I think, there that make you slip. But I mean, the whole thing's like driving up black ice the whole time. So I don't think those water puddles are really your biggest problem, especially when you're driving a dune buggy that smokes half the time.
Last lap.
And finish.
Viper fades to the left.
They should have Sam from Commodore singing it. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Get your motor running.
Ivan scores a first place knockout. Rip in second.
Hey,
Viper
Mac
is
Apple,
a
good to
weak
see you
spot.
hanging.
Shred is in another time zone.
Yeah, it's like if you bought an 8-bit radio to put in your car. Which when we were kids, when we played this, we were like, man, doesn't it suck that they couldn't like put the actual song in the game? And now when I drive around in my car, I listen to synthwave and like 8-bit music of old songs. So full circle. As a kid, you wanted the 13 grand. Oh, I can buy the. Oh no! Oh my gosh, those went up in price. What is this? One gas charge. So this is like, I guess this is turbo. I'll buy a couple turbos. I really need some like some sticky tape for my tires is what I really need.
Let the carnage begin!
I need carnage as much as just
Rip fades into lap.
on the day I was born. The nurses all gathered round. I don't know if you guys have ever played with Sam.
Ivan
Isn't
is
it
dominating
speech
the race.
automated mouth? I think that might not be what it stands for. That's what I would say. I am Sam, the voice synthesizer for the Commodore 64 computer. I went through a whole demo of all the different voices and things it could do. And when I first moved in with my wife, this is a true story, and the day that we moved in together, and she was unpacking, she had a box that she brought into the living room, and it had 3 items in it. This is the first box that she unpacked. And the box had 4 things in the box. She had her original Odyssey 2 from when she was a child. She had her NES, which she had from her dorm. She'd got an NES so they could play games in the dorm. She had her father's Commodore 128. He had passed away by the time we moved in together, but she had inherited the computer. So she had his Commodore 128. And the 4th thing was a framed picture of the Three Stooges. And, I mean, by the time she was emptying, and that box was empty, I thought, this is it. There is no other woman on this planet that is more for me than this woman right here. I should have asked her to marry me that night, but I waited 2 years and told her, I proposed to her with an Easter egg hunt. And Steel Rat, who has entered the room, was one of my groomsmen. Hello, Steel Rat, and everybody could wish Steel Rat a happy 50th birthday. Steel Rat turned half a century old yesterday. See ya, Pencil. Thanks for coming in, man. Always good hanging with you. Always good to talk to you. 5-0. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I shouldn't have run for quite so long. Not as long as I did. Oh, what happened? Captain Braddock. So you think you're... Oh. All right. What do I want to do here? How much money do I got? 16 grand, which is not enough for anything at this point. Well, there we go. I don't even know why I bought that. I didn't know how to use it last time. L. Curtis Boyle's birthday is today. The big 5-5. I was just telling Steel Rat last night that when I was a kid, my dad swapped an engine into a car that didn't. The engine in the original car worked fine. He just wanted a faster engine in the car. And this was like not a project car. This was his daily driver. When I was a kid, I was like, this is what a man does. Like when you grow up and you become a man, this is what you'll do. And I am definitely older than my dad was at that point, and I am playing Super Nintendo games on a Wednesday night on the internet, and I'm sure my dad is proud. I'm sure he's like, hey, how's your car engine coming? I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't run very well, but I did really good on rock and roll racing. Yeah, my dad had a 1975 Blazer when I was growing up, and a 75 Blazer. There were 4 years, well, 72 to 75 were the years that the top came all the way off the Blazer and turned the whole truck into a convertible. So the top was one big piece that was shaped like a baseball hat, and it came off the back and the front. It was all connected one piece. So you had a convertible pickup with a roll bar in there. And it had a 350 Chevy engine. And he had a co-worker that had a 1971 Corvette Stingray. And
Ivan scores a first-place knockout.
he,
Second. Red is a weak third. Viper
the
is
Corvette
another
Stingray got run over. The rear end got run over by a semi. He pulled up too close to a semi. A semi made a tight right turn and ran over the rear of the Stingray. So they totaled the car, and my dad said, "Hey, can I buy the engine from you?" And he said, "Yes." So my dad took this 454 engine from a 71 Corvette Stingray and put it into his Blazer, and it was the world's fastest Blazer. And we used to play a game, my friends and I, where we would stand up on our knees in the back of the car, and then he would just floor it, and we would all fall over. We would play a game to see how long you could play until you fell over. Fortunately, nobody ever fell out of the Blazer playing that game, but yeah, that was definitely a...
Ivan jams into
But
first.
yeah, like I said, that wasn't like a weird
Ivan
project
about
car or
to blow.
anything. That was just his daily driver. He just decided he wanted to put a 454 into it. I, on the other hand, have been upgrading hard drives in my home media server and copying the files, which is
Red was
kind of
lost
like
out there.
doing an engine swap on a truck.
Viper fades into last. Ivan is dominating the race.
All right, we're going to do one or two more races, and then we're going to switch over to...
Shred is about to blow.
Hey, and Steel Rat, by the way, and he can vouch for this story. I was just telling everyone right before you got here about the night that we picked a random girl up in the Doom buggy and took her to a party. I think that was at, not that anybody didn't know, but I think the party was at Josh's apartment. I think that's where we all went. But, yeah, I mean, we really did just say, do we look like serial killers? And we're just dudes out cruising in a Doom buggy.
Shred fades into last.
The relationship did not last. Although I do vaguely remember that she worked at Hardee's, and I got really excited that I might have a hookup for free food from Hardee's, but it was not meant to be.
Ivan scores a first-place knockout. Viper finishes second. Red
Yes,
is
it was a
weak
little
third.
white Corvette,
Shred
actually,
is in another
but
time zone.
a little red Corvette's a better side. It is a little like one crazy summer. Ah, Texas Foosballers in the house. Adam's in the house. What's up, everybody? We are about to finish up some rock and roll racing. No, that wasn't a girl that we drove to Norman. That was Jan T from the Brotherhood of 405, who we were all at a party
The stage
and
is set.
got
The green flag drops.
so intoxicated that his wife left him and said,
Viper
"You guys
jams
do
into first.
it." And I don't think it was just alcohol. I think there was a combination of maybe some alcohol and some pills that had a
Viper is
result
dominating the race.
that was fairly intense. And so the problem was I had driven to the party, but I was not in any condition to drive either. So Still Rat took the wheel
Rip was
and
lost
drove
out
us
there.
all to Norman. And then when we got to Norman, the guy that we drove to Norman could not remember where he lived, and told us to drop him off, quote, in this shopping cart in Homeland parking lot at 2 in the morning. And we said, we're not going to do that. So we, by the way, Norman is a 45-minute drive from where this party was. So then after that, we drove 45 minutes back and dumped him off at the party and went home.
Shred is about to blow.
The next morning,
Shred fades into last.
this is I had just believe it or not, blown up a car, and so I did not have a car, and I was borrowing a truck from my dad, And my dad said he came in my room like at 9 in the morning and woke me up and said couple of things. He said, number one, the truck was almost full yesterday and now it's empty. And I said, I will fill up your truck with gas. And he said, I don't. He says, I need you to do one thing and I have one question for you. And I said, okay. And he said the thing he wanted me to do was to clean the puke off of the side of his truck, at which point I did vaguely remember that someone had leaned out the window and thrown up, and it had gone all down the side of his truck. And he said, one question for you, and I said, yes. And he said, where did the stop sign attached to the pole come from that's in the bed of the truck? And I said, couldn't tell you. And he said, all right, clean the puke off my truck and fill it up with gas. And I said, and stop running over stop signs and bringing them home. And I said, yes, sir. So I had that. I think I may still have the stop sign, but I had to get rid of the pole. It's not kind of difficult to keep a stop sign pole around. Alright, this is our last lap on this. I'm going to switch over to Ivan Stewart. So I got to play Ivan Stewart in the arcade last week, about 10 days ago, the weekend before last. Steel Rat and I went to the local Up-Down arcade. The thing about the Up-Down arcade is that I had gone there with Rob Sherwin last year, and the first thing we did when we walked in was my buddy Rob put a 20 on the bar and said, hey, give me $20 worth of tokens. And they said, yeah, well, today is 2-for-1 token day. So instead of 80 tokens for the two of us, they gave us 160 tokens. And then we proceeded to play about 5 games. So I've had this giant baggie of tokens sitting in my house for like a year. And so Jeff and I were looking for something to do. And so I thought, you know what, let's go use those tokens. And so we went to the Up-Down arcade, and before we went, I took the tokens. I left Jeff's bag of tokens is still out in the car. Here's my bag of tokens. So this is, it's hard to see because the light, but this is half of the tokens that are left after 2 trips to that place. They really shouldn't offer 2-for-1 tokens. We did end up buying a drink, so they got a little bit of money, and this is an interesting story. So Jeff and I wanted to buy. The thing is that this place advertises slices of pizza, and so I was like, all right. So we wanted to get a slice of pizza for lunch. And so we went in, and Jeff can back me up on this story. We walk up to the thing, and there's one of those giant TV menus that has 6 pizzas. Like there's a pepperoni, there's a meat lover, a cheese pizza. There's 6 different kinds of pizzas up there. And the guy comes up to the window, and I say, you know what? I'd like a slice of meat lovers, and my friend would like a slice of pepperoni. And he goes, it'll be like 5 minutes for the meat lovers. And then I said, all right, you know what? Just make it 2 pepperonis. And he goes, well, that'll be 15 minutes. And I go, all right, well, what do you have right now? And he goes, I got mac and cheese pizza. And I said, okay, I'll take a slice of mac and cheese pizza. And then Jeff says, I'll take, I think he said he would take mac and cheese pizza. And the guy goes, I only got 1 slice, bro. So it'll be 15 minutes for that. And so we were like, well, what else do you got? And he says, well, our special today is like chicken fajita pizza or something. And Jeff says, I'll take that. And I said, great, give us 2 slices of that. And he goes, I only got 1 slice of that, bro. So it'll be 15 minutes. And I go, okay, leave me with the mac and cheese. Get him the chicken thing. And he goes, okay. And so he gets the pizza. And then he says, he goes, sorry, man, I've only been open for an hour and a half. That was his apology to us. That he's only been open for an hour and a half. And then I go, oh, is that all? And he goes, man, I'm just really stoned. And I go, you don't say. And this was not a 16-year-old. This guy was like 30. So I don't know if that makes the story any better that he's 30, but I mean, I thought maybe that he'd skip right to crack or something, but that was we did have our pizza, but yeah, it was interesting, and the drinks were okay. Okay, let's see. This is not